On the previous episode of Life on Board AmyJo, we made our way from bramble cuttings along the Trent and Mersey Canal until we reached Anderton lift, and there we came down the lift and moored at the visitor moorings overnight. In this episode, next morning, we make our way upstream on the river through Northwich and as far as we can get to Vale Royal locks, which are closed. We then turned round and headed back to Northwich and stayed overnight at Northwich. The following morning we continued to retrace our steps back to the Anderton lift, but carried on downstream to a lovely country mooring where we moored with Steve and Maxine on one day more our journey.
I doubt if he will.
After demooring, the first job was to turn AmyJo round to face the flow of the river as we had moored facing downstream. To assist in the turn and to avoid the bow being washed downstream, I got Chris to tie the bow line round one of the bollards to hold the bow in place while we pivoted the boat round to face the other way.
Sorry, we just started as you came round.
It was just our luck as we started the manoeuvre and AmyJo was straddled across the river that the trip boat had just come down from Anderton lift and was trying to make its way towards Northwich, and he had to wait until we finished turning the boat.
Right, come on.
Well, that's it, we've had a nice night on the lift visitor moorings. So now today we're making our way down to Northwich, or up to Northwich I should say, because we're going upstream at the moment. We just turned the boat round and because there was wind and flow in the opposite direction to the way we were facing, so we just spun around on the bow rope and now we're heading upstream following the trip boat. So it's only a little short trip this morning, not far. Plenty of evidence of past industrial use around this stretch. Old jetty timbers, overgrown wharves that are no longer used. They're all over the place along this stretch of the river. I videoed this last time we were on the river. It's sunk even more now and more overgrown. Before long the overgrowth will completely swallow it up. I believe it's what they call a Mersey flat. It was certainly a barge for hauling salt at the time, I guess. Just about make out that. And the nice thing about being on the river, of course, you can open her up. And I'm running at just over 1500 RPM at the moment on the engine, and AmyJo is loving it. She's cruising along quite happily. She loves the rivers, does AmyJo. as luck would have it, as we pulled up at the Northwich visitor jetty, a wide beam was moored here and has actually left. And although we're a little bit short on jetty, we've actually managed to get in. So it's not ideal. Yes, please. We're hanging on a centre line at the moment and a stern line, and we're just going to try and sort the bow line out if we can. But Chris is having to do a balancing act up there.
I think it's a weather sponge.
Well, it was Smudgy's birthday yesterday, so for a treat we brought him to Pets at Home.
What do you want?
Now Mummy's got him 2 toys. But he's not interested because just round the corner is food. Where are you? There you are. He's more interested in the food. Found something. Well, we've been into town this morning and got Smudgy's birthday toy. We're now leaving the moorings, which were really good. They're locked. You need a BW key to get onto the jetty, so it's quite safe there, although there was never any bother even on a Saturday night. So now we're going to have a little poodle down the river and then back up again, just for a bit of a cruise as the weather's nice. So enjoy. Town Bridge opened in 1899, a year after the nearby Hayhurst Bridge. It made it the second electronically controlled swing bridge in the UK. It was closed for several months in 1924 for vital repairs and strengthening during the period known as Northwich's Big Lift, when a number of buildings and roads were raised to combat the effects of subsidence. This is Northwich Marina, and very nicely placed it is too. The Waitrose in the background there. This is Hayhurst Bridge that I mentioned earlier being the first electronically operated swing bridge in the UK. Both bridges were designed by Colonel John Sainer and were built on floating pontoons to counteract mine subsidence. This is the home of the Northwich dry dock. It took us a little while to work out how to get in there, but there is a little creek that you have to go around the back of the island here, and you can get in that way. There's some well-known working boats more up here. Oh yeah. We're not actually far from Yarwoods, which was a very well-known narrowboat builder back in the day. In fact, just round the bow of Harfield here is Yarwood's boatyard, and many a working boat was built here. In fact, many a working boat is still moored in this yard. And the dry dock is just where that yellow crane derrick is, underneath that arch in that area. But one must remember that the Weaver was a commercial river with large vessels like this one, Safe Hand, cruising up and down the river at one time. Nowadays, very little commercial traffic actually runs up and down the river. but you can still see it on the odd occasions. Interview is one of the massive locks on the river. We're going to go alongside and then find out when we can go in. They only operate on times, so we probably have to wait until we get to go ahead. I'll go up and see the locky. They are manned. I can see the locky standing up there now, so we'll see how we go. You want us on that side?
Yeah.
That's good, because I didn't think we sent the lines long enough. Chris, are you having trouble? That's it, now you're through.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you later. Yeah? Yeah, that's fine. I'm waiting.
See you in a little while.
Yeah.
Who's better with the engine running?
That's hell. What's the upwind?
I'm throttling up thinking, why is she moving?
I know, it's quiet.
It's a quiet engine, I know, but it's not that quiet.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. We'll see you later in the day. Above us now is the Hertford Bridge. This takes the busy A556 across the river. So nice now to be out onto the river. I actually like cruising the rivers in the summer. I wouldn't want to do them in the winter, but certainly in conditions like today, the rivers are absolutely fabulous to cruise on. Lunchtime. Chris has just presented me with 2 cheese chop rolls filled with bacon. Smells divine. I'm going to give it a good try now. Now we're just coming down after we've passed the railway to Vale Royal Lock, but this is as far as we can go because Vale Royal Lock is closed at the moment. There's no progressing further than this, which is a bit disappointing because we had hoped to sort of stop overnight and then head back tomorrow. So we're going to have to make a turn here and head back to the previous lock, Hunt's Lock, and make our way back to Northwich again, which is very disappointing. As I say, that's as far as we can go, unfortunately, today. The locks are out of order, and there's no going through them. The old fire engine's been parked there for years, and nothing's ever been done to it. It's actually got trees growing out of it now. I noticed that from the last time we were up. There's a bit of a wharf in there. I hadn't noticed that before, so they've obviously cleared the entrance, and a lot of boats moored up in there now. It's a lovely boat. Just imagine myself running down the Thames in that, I think. This new complex here was all in build the last time we came down. It was just a steel framework. So it's certainly made a big difference to the town centre, this has. And of course the moorings here have been extended, which is good. And no chance of getting on there this afternoon, that's for sure. Or a bridge. Well, we're getting a bit of a whistle-top tour. Start that again. We're getting a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the River Weaver at the moment. We're only on for 2 days, so we've gone as far upstream as we can. So now we're going to have a little explore downstream just for today. As I say, we're going up the lift tomorrow morning, so we've got to be back at the lift moorings this evening. But we'll go down as far as Saltersford Lock, which is the next lock, and then we'll turn around and come back. And this is the Winnington Bridge that carries the A533 across the river. It's a much smaller scale swing bridge than some of the others we've seen, but still just as impressive. And you have to keep to the right hand side of the bridge because the bridge drops towards the bank, so it's too low for us to cross under otherwise. There's obviously a weir and level control there. As Chris said, it looks like one end of a guillotine lock.
Go down to the lock and then go back up and moor on the moorings up there.
Quite like the Weaver, it's alright.
Oh, we love it. About our third time down.
Yeah.
The first time we came on at the ship canal.
Is that when the lock was broke?
No, it was about 6 years ago.
Alright.
And we went right up to Winsford. And then,
You can't go that way, can you?
no.
It's a shame, that's the best bit at all. So we've been told. We only went up to the next lock really, but the lock keeper says there's nothing really, a little tiny bit of mooring, there's nothing really to see. So you wait time going through, because you then have to turn around to the next lock. So you jump in there, and
There's a bollard there. Wait. No, there's nothing up here. Oh, have you got any food down on your boat? He's going to be in it. He's going to be in.
Well, that's it for this one, folks. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, a special thanks to our Patreon crew and for our channel members and those of you that bought us a coffee. We do hope you're all well, and we'll see you next time on Life on Board AmyJo. Bye for now.